Introduction. Step into a world where ancient magic meets cutting-edge technology in Guardians of the Mystic Dragons, Secrets of the Enchanted Realm. This captivating middle-grade fantasy adventure follows Kai, a spirited young boy who accidentally uncovers a portal hidden within an old spaceship. As he ventures through, he is whisked away to the Enchanted Realm, a breathtaking land where majestic dragons glide through the skies and wonders await at every corner. Here, he joins forces with three remarkable guardians: Zara, a brilliant tech savant; Leo, an unyielding warrior; and Mira, a compassionate healer. Guided by the wise Master Orin, they unlock their unique powers while facing the ominous threat of Draven, a dark sorcerer bent on seizing the realm's magic. Together, they must navigate treacherous trials, forge unbreakable friendships, and embrace their destinies in a journey filled with thrills, life lessons, and unforgettable adventures. Chapter 1. The Hidden Portal. A journey begins. Kai's world is turned upside down when he stumbles upon a hidden portal inside an old spaceship, leading him to the magical Enchanted Realm. In this new world filled with dragons and mystic energies, Kai's curiosity and bravery set the stage for an adventure beyond his wildest dreams. This chapter introduces Kai as a curious and adventurous boy who is about to embark on a life-changing journey. The chapter builds anticipation as Kai discovers the portal and takes his first steps into the Enchanted Realm, where the wonders and dangers of a new world await him. Discovering the spaceship. It was a Saturday afternoon, and the sun was high in the sky, casting a golden glow over the field where Kai often wandered when he had some free time. The field was a wide expanse of tall grass and wildflowers, bordered by a dense forest on one side and a quiet stream on the other. Kai loved exploring the area, always hoping to find something new or exciting. He had just finished his chores at home and was looking forward to a few hours of adventure before dinner. As he walked through the field, something caught his eye, a strange shape in the distance that he had never noticed before. Kai squinted, trying to make out what it was. The outline was jagged and metallic, partly buried in the overgrown grass. His heart skipped a beat as he realized it was the remnants of an old spaceship, its rusty exterior blending into the landscape. With a burst of curiosity, Kai hurried toward the spaceship. When he reached it, he could see that it was much larger than he had initially thought. The metal was weathered and the windows were cracked and broken. The spaceship looked like it had been there for years, forgotten by time. "This is incredible," Kai whispered to himself, his eyes wide with wonder. He had always been fascinated by stories of space travel and alien worlds, and now here he was, standing in front of a real spaceship. Kai ran his fingers along the rusty hull, imagining the adventures this ship might have seen. As he walked around it, he noticed an entry hatch that was slightly ajar. His heart pounded with excitement and a little bit of fear. Should he go inside? What if there was something dangerous in there? But the urge to explore was too strong to resist. After a moment's hesitation, Kai took a deep breath and pulled the hatch open. The metal creaked loudly, making him wince, but he pushed on. He hoisted himself up and climbed inside. The accidental activation. Inside the spaceship, the air was cool and musty, filled with the scent of old metal and dust. It was dimly lit, but enough sunlight filtered through the broken windows to allow Kai to see the interior. The walls were lined with strange buttons and levers, and the floor was scattered with debris, broken panels, wires, and shards of glass. Kai's eyes roamed over the control panels, his excitement building. "This is amazing," he exclaimed softly. He couldn't resist the urge to touch the controls. He reached out and began pressing some of the buttons, though nothing seemed to happen at first. As he continued exploring, Kai noticed one button that was different from the others. It was glowing faintly blue, as if it still held some power. Kai hesitated for a moment, his fingers hovering over the button. Then, with a mixture of curiosity and excitement, he pressed it. The reaction was immediate. The spaceship hummed to life, and the ground beneath Kai's feet began to tremble. The control panels lit up, casting eerie blue light across the cabin. The air around him shimmered with a strange, magical energy that made his skin tingle. "What's happening?" Kai muttered, a mix of fear and awe in his voice. He tried to back away from the controls, but before he could, a swirling vortex of light opened up right in front of him. The portal was a whirlpool of vibrant colours, blues, purples and greens, spinning faster and faster until it formed a perfect circle. Kai's eyes widened in shock. He had never seen anything like this before. The portal pulsed with energy, drawing him closer. He tried to resist, but the pull was too strong. In a flash, the portal engulfed him, and Kai felt himself being lifted off the ground. "Help!" he shouted, but there was no one around to hear him. The next moment, he was pulled into the portal, leaving the spaceship behind as the colours swirled around him, entering the enchanted realm. Kai tumbled through the portal, the world around him a blur of colours and light. He felt weightless, as if he were floating in a dream. Just as suddenly as it began, the journey through the portal ended, and Kai found himself landing with a soft thud on a patch of grass. For a moment, he lay still, trying to catch his breath. When he finally opened his eyes, the sight before him took his breath away. He was no longer in the field by his home. Instead, he was in a lush valley filled with trees that shimmered in the sunlight, their leaves a mix of emerald green and deep purple. The air was warm and fragrant, carrying the scent of flowers Kai had never seen before, vivid blooms in every colour imaginable. "Where am I?" Kai whispered, his voice filled with awe. He slowly stood up, taking in the beauty of the place. The sky above was a brilliant blue, with fluffy white clouds drifting lazily by. In the distance, he could hear the gentle rush of a waterfall, and the songs of birds echoed through the valley. As Kai marvelled at the sights around him, a shadow passed over him. He looked up just in time to see a massive creature soaring through the sky. It was a dragon, its scales glinting like jewels in the sunlight. The dragon swooped down gracefully and landed a short distance away from Kai. Kai's heart raced. Dragons were the stuff of legends and fairy tales, but here was one right in front of him. The dragon was magnificent. Its scales were a deep sapphire blue, and its eyes glowed with a warm, golden light. It was both terrifying and beautiful, and Kai felt a mix of fear and wonder. The dragon gazed at Kai with a curious expression, then spoke in a deep, gentle voice. "Welcome to the enchanted realm, young one. I am Zephyr, guardian of this valley." Kai's mouth dropped open in surprise. You can talk?" Zephyr chuckled, a sound like a rumbling thunder. "Indeed I can. And you, young one, are not from this world, are you?" Kai shook his head, still in shock. "No, I came through a portal. I don't even know how I got here." Zephyr nodded thoughtfully. "The enchanted realm is a place of magic and wonder, but it is also a place of great danger. You were brought here for a reason, Kai." Kai blinked, startled that the dragon knew his name. "How do you know who I am?" "There is much I know, and much you will learn in time," Zephyr replied. "But first, you must understand the importance of the journey you are about to undertake." The Guardian's Call. Zephyr led Kai through the valley, the dragon's presence both comforting and awe-inspiring. As they walked, Kai couldn't help but ask questions. Why was I brought here? What am I supposed to do? Zephyr paused and looked down at Kai with a serious expression. The enchanted realm is in grave danger, Kai. A dark sorcerer named Draven seeks to conquer this world and bend its magic to his will. The Guardians are the only ones who can stop him, and you, young one, have been chosen to be one of them. Kai's eyes widened. Me, a Guardian? But I don't know anything about magic or fighting. You will learn, Zephyr said gently. You have a gift, Kai, a power that you have yet to discover, but you will not be alone. There are others like you, each with their own unique abilities. Together, you will form a team, and together, you will protect the enchanted realm. Kai felt a mixture of excitement and fear. The idea of being a guardian sounded incredible, but it also sounded like a huge responsibility. What if I'm not strong enough? What if I fail? Zephyr smiled kindly. Courage is not the absence of fear, Kai, but the strength to face it. You have been chosen because you have the heart of a guardian. Trust in yourself, and you will find the strength you need. As they continued walking, the valley opened up into a wide clearing. In the center of the clearing was a large stone circle, surrounded by mystical creatures of all shapes and sizes, sprites, talking animals, and other dragons like Zephyr. They were gathered around as if waiting for something or someone. Zephyr motioned for Kai to step forward. This is the Council of the Enchanted Realm. They have been expecting you. Kai swallowed nervously, but did as Zephyr asked. As he stood in the center of the stone circle, the creatures around him watched with keen interest. Kai felt a sense of awe and humility, realizing the significance of the moment. One of the creatures, an ancient-looking tortoise with a wise expression, spoke in a slow, deliberate voice. Young Kai, you have been chosen by the forces of the Enchanted Realm to join the Guardians. Your journey will be filled with challenges, but you will not face them alone. Will you accept this responsibility? Kai looked around at the faces of the creatures who had gathered, then back at Zephyr, who gave him an encouraging nod. With a deep breath, Kai made his decision. Yes, he said firmly, I'll do it. I'll become a guardian. A ripple of approval went through the crowd, and the tortoise smiled. Then it is settled. Welcome, Kai, to the Enchanted Realm. May your journey be filled with courage and wisdom. As the creatures dispersed, Zephyr leaned down to Kai. You have taken the first step, young one. There is much to learn, and your journey has only just begun. But remember, you are not alone. Together with the other guardians, you will be strong. Kai felt a surge of determination. He didn't know what lay ahead, but he knew one thing for sure. He was ready to face whatever challenges came his way. Chapter 2. The Guardians Unite, a new alliance in the Enchanted Realm. In this chapter, Kai meets his new companions, Zara, Leo, and Mira, who will become crucial allies in his quest. They share their backgrounds and strengths, introducing Kai to the concept of the Guardians and their mission to protect the Enchanted Realm. The Guardians decide to train together under the guidance of Master Orin, setting the stage for their upcoming adventures and the development of their individual abilities. Meeting the Guardians. Kai followed Zephyr, the majestic dragon, as they walked through a lush forest filled with towering trees and vibrant flowers. The sunlight streamed through the leaves, creating a magical atmosphere that made the forest seem alive. Every step Kai took felt like an adventure, as if the ground beneath him held secrets waiting to be discovered. As they walked, Kai's mind buzzed with questions. Who were these guardians? What kind of place was this enchanted realm? And most importantly, how did he fit into all of this? His thoughts were interrupted when they arrived at a large clearing. In the center stood 3 young people, each around his age, gathered around a glowing map etched into the ground. "These are your fellow guardians," Zephyr announced, his deep voice resonating through the clearing. "Zara, Leo, and Mira. They, like you, have been chosen to protect this realm." Kai took a step forward, his heart pounding with a mix of excitement and nervousness. The 3 turned to face him, their expressions curious and welcoming. "Hi, I'm Zara," said the girl on the left. She was small and agile, with dark hair tied back into a ponytail and bright, inquisitive eyes. She wore a vest filled with gadgets and tools, making her look like a young inventor. "I'm the tech expert around here." Leo, a tall boy with a strong build and a confident stance, nodded in greeting. His short brown hair and green eyes gave him a warrior-like appearance. "I'm Leo," he said, his voice steady. "I handle combat, swords, strategy, that kind of stuff." "And I'm Mira," said the third, a gentle-looking girl with long, wavy hair and kind eyes. She radiated a calm energy that immediately put Kai at ease. "I'm the healer. I help keep everyone safe and healthy." Kai smiled, feeling a little more relaxed. "I'm Kai. I guess I'm still figuring out what I do." Zara chuckled. "Don't worry, Kai. We all had to figure it out at first. You'll find your place here." Zephyr stepped forward, his wings slightly raised as he spoke. "The Enchanted realm is a place of wonder, but also of great danger. Draven, the dark sorcerer, threatens the balance of this world, and it is up to you, the Guardians, to stop him." Kai felt a shiver run down his spine at the mention of Draven. The name alone sounded ominous, and the idea of facing a dark sorcerer was both thrilling and terrifying. Leo's expression turned serious. "We've been training for a while now, preparing for the day we'd have to face Draven. But we can't do it alone. That's why you're here, Kai. Together, we stand a chance." Mira nodded in agreement. "The Guardians before us left behind a legacy of courage and wisdom. It's up to us to continue that legacy and protect this realm." Kai looked around at his new friends and the world they were sworn to protect. It was overwhelming, but also inspiring. He knew he had a lot to learn, but with Zara, Leo, Mira, and Zephyr by his side, he felt ready to take on whatever challenges lay ahead. Discovering strengths. As the afternoon sun cast long shadows across the clearing, the Guardians gathered around the glowing map. It showed the Enchanted realm in its entirety: forests, mountains, rivers, and all the hidden paths that connected them. Zara tapped the map, and different areas lit up, highlighting key locations. "This map helps us track Draven's movements," Zara explained. "He's always on the move, so we have to be ready for anything." Leo leaned over the map, studying it carefully. "We've managed to push back his forces a few times, but he's growing stronger. We need to be on our guard." Mira placed a comforting hand on Kai's shoulder. "But we're not alone. We have each other, and together we're stronger than any of us could be alone." Kai felt a surge of determination. "So, what do we do next?" Zara grinned, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "We train. Master Orin is waiting for us. He's the one who will help you discover your powers." Leo patted Kai on the back. "Don't worry, it's not as scary as it sounds. Orin's tough, but he's fair. You'll learn a lot from him." Zephyr lowered his head to look Kai in the eye. "Your training is essential, Kai. Each of you has a unique gift that will be crucial in the battles to come, but remember, it's not just about strength, it's about heart and the bond you share with your fellow Guardians." Kai nodded, his resolve strengthening. "I'm ready. Let's do this." With that, the group began their journey toward Master Orin's training grounds. The path was lined with magical plants that glowed softly in the fading light, guiding their way. As they walked, Zara, Leo, and Mira shared stories of their past missions, their voices filled with camaraderie and trust. Kai listened intently, soaking in every detail. He could see the close bond they shared, and he hoped to earn his place among them. There was a lot to learn, but he was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The path to master Orin. As the group ventured deeper into the enchanted realm, the landscape around them began to change. The trees grew taller and more ancient, their branches stretching out like arms that had witnessed countless centuries. The air was cooler here, filled with the sound of distant waterfalls and the soft chirping of unseen creatures. "Master Orin's training grounds are just up ahead," Leo said, his voice calm but with a hint of excitement. "It's a place like no other. Orin has trained many guardians before us, and now it's our turn." Kai walked beside Mira, who was quietly observing the surroundings. She seemed so in tune with the environment, her steps light and purposeful. "Is Master Orin really as powerful as everyone says?" Kai asked, a mix of curiosity and apprehension in his voice. Mira smiled gently. "He is, but his true strength lies in his wisdom. He knows how to bring out the best in each of us, helping us discover our potential. You'll see." Zara, who had been fiddling with a small gadget in her hands, looked up and added, "Orin's training isn't just about learning to fight. It's about understanding who you are and how your powers fit into the bigger picture. It's intense, but it's worth it." The path opened up into a wide clearing, and Kai saw it, a massive stone structure, half covered in vines, standing in the middle of the forest. It was ancient, yet it radiated a powerful energy that made Kai's heart race. Surrounding the structure were various training areas, obstacle courses, sparring rings, and targets for practicing different skills. "This is it," Leo said, spreading his arms wide. "Welcome to the training grounds." As they approached, a figure emerged from the stone structure. He was tall, with a sturdy build and flowing robes that seemed to shimmer with the energy of the enchanted realm. His silver hair was tied back, and his warm amber eyes exuded kindness and wisdom. A long, thin scar ran down his left cheek, adding to the aura of experience that surrounded him. "Master Orin," Zara greeted with a respectful nod. Orin smiled warmly at the group. "Welcome, Guardians. I see we have a new member." His gaze settled on Kai, and for a moment Kai felt as if Orin could see straight into his soul. "Kai, it's an honor to meet you," Orin said, his voice calm and reassuring. "I've heard much about you from Zephyr. You've already shown great courage by stepping into this realm." Kai felt a mix of pride and nervousness. "Thank you, Master Orin. I'm ready to learn." Orin nodded. "Good. The path of a guardian is not an easy one, but it is a noble one. Each of you has a unique gift, and together you are stronger than you could ever be alone. But before you can fight as a team, you must learn to harness your individual strengths." He gestured towards the training areas. "Today, we begin with the basics. Follow me." The group followed Orin to a large open area where various obstacles were set up, walls to climb, ropes to swing from, and dummies for combat practice. It was clear that the training would be both physical and mental. Orin turned to the group, his expression serious but encouraging. "Each of these challenges is designed to test your abilities and push you to your limits. Remember, it's not about how fast you complete them, but about how you overcome the obstacles. Trust in your abilities and trust in each other." Kai glanced at the other guardians, who were already stretching and preparing for the training. He took a deep breath, ready to give it his all. "Let's start with the first challenge," Orin announced. "Kai, you will go first." Kai's heart skipped a beat. He wasn't expecting to be thrown into the spotlight so soon, but he nodded, determined to prove himself. Orin led him to a series of tall walls with narrow ledges. This will test your agility and your control over your powers. Use the wind to help you, but remember, balance is key. Kai looked at the walls, feeling a mixture of excitement and fear. He closed his eyes for a moment, focusing on the energy within him, the elemental power that he had only just begun to understand. He could feel the wind around him, gentle and encouraging. With a deep breath, Kai opened his eyes and began to climb. The first few steps were easy, but as the walls grew higher and the ledges narrower, he had to concentrate harder. The wind swirled around him, helping him maintain his balance, but it was up to Kai to control it. Halfway up, he felt himself waver. His foot slipped on the narrow ledge, and for a moment he panicked. But then he heard Orin's voice, calm and steady. "Trust in your abilities, Kai. Feel the wind. Let it guide you." Kai closed his eyes again, focusing on the wind. He could feel it lifting him, steadying him. With renewed determination, he continued the climb, moving with more confidence. The wind became his ally, helping him reach the top. When he finally reached the last ledge, he pulled himself up and stood, breathing heavily but with a wide smile on his face. He had done it. The other guardians cheered from below, and Orin gave a nod of approval. "Well done, Kai. You have taken the first step in mastering your powers. Remember this feeling and let it guide you in the challenges to come." Kai climbed down, feeling a rush of pride. He had faced his first real test as a guardian and succeeded, and as he joined the others, he knew that this was just the beginning. Preparing for the future. As the day drew to a close, the guardians gathered around a small fire near the edge of the training grounds. The sky above them was painted in shades of orange and pink, the sun setting behind the towering trees. The air was filled with the sounds of the forest, chirping crickets, rustling leaves, and the occasional call of a distant creature. Kai sat between Zara and Mira, his heart still racing from the day's events. He had never felt so alive, so full of purpose. The challenges he had faced, the new friends he had made, and the guidance of Master Orin, it all felt like a dream. Leo poked at the fire with a stick, sending sparks flying into the air. "Today was a good day," he said, his voice filled with satisfaction. "We're getting stronger, I can feel it." Mira smiled softly, her gaze fixed on the flames. "And we're becoming closer as a team. That's just as important as our individual strengths." Zara, who had been tinkering with a small device in her hands, looked up. "It's true. We're all here for a reason. The more we understand that, the better we'll be when we face Draven." Kai nodded, feeling a deep sense of camaraderie with his new friends. "I still have a lot to learn, but I know I'm in the right place. I want to be the best guardian I can be." Orin, who had been quietly observing them from a short distance away, stepped forward and placed a hand on Kai's shoulder. "You already have the heart of a guardian, Kai. The rest will come with time and training. And remember, you are not alone. The strength of a guardian lies not just in their powers, but in the bonds they share with others." Kai looked around at Zara, Leo and Mira, feeling a warmth in his chest. "We're in this together." The group shared a moment of silence, each lost in their thoughts about the challenges ahead and the adventures that awaited them. The fire crackled softly, and the stars began to twinkle in the sky above. As they prepared to rest for the night, Orin spoke once more. "Tomorrow we will continue our training, but tonight rest well. You have all made great progress today. The road ahead is long, but with each step you grow stronger." Kai lay down on the soft grass, looking up at the starry sky. He thought about the journey he had just begun, the new world he had entered, and the responsibilities that now rested on his shoulders. But he also thought about the friends he had made, the lessons he had learned, and the adventures that awaited him. For the first time in his life, Kai felt truly at home. And as he drifted off to sleep, surrounded by the sounds of the enchanted realm and the warmth of his new friends, he knew that this was just the beginning of something extraordinary. Chapter 3. Training Under Master. Orin. Unlocking the power within. In this chapter, the Guardians begin their rigorous training under the guidance of Master Orin, a wise and experienced mentor. As they navigate the challenges presented to them, they learn about the importance of teamwork, responsibility, and the strength that comes from supporting one another. Each Guardian faces personal struggles, Kai with controlling his powers, Zara with self-doubt, and Leo with learning strategic thinking. Through these trials, they begin to understand that their greatest strength lies not just in their individual abilities, but in their unity as a team. This chapter deepens their bonds and sets the stage for the adventures to come. A new beginning. The next morning, the sun rose gently over the enchanted realm, casting a golden light across the training grounds. The Guardians were already awake, standing in a circle around Master Orin, who looked as serene and focused as ever. The day's training was about to begin, and the air buzzed with anticipation. Master Orin addressed them with his usual calm authority. Today, we dive deeper into your training. You've each shown great potential, but now it's time to hone those skills. Remember, the path of a Guardian is not just about power, it's about wisdom, responsibility, and the strength that comes from unity. Kai, Zara, Leo, and Mira exchanged determined looks. The journey so far had been intense, but they were ready for whatever came next. Orin gestured towards a series of training areas spread out before them. Each of these stations will test different aspects of your abilities. Some will challenge your physical strength, others your mind. But most importantly, they will test your ability to work together. He pointed to a set of large moss-covered stones arranged in a circle. We'll start with an exercise in teamwork and elemental control. Kai, you will lead this exercise. Kai's heart skipped a beat. Leading the exercise was an honor, but also a challenge. He stepped forward, trying to hide his nervousness. What do we need to do, Master Orin? Orin smiled encouragingly. These stones are enchanted. They respond to the elements. Your task is to move them into a specific formation using your wind powers, but you'll need the help of your teammates to do it. Kai nodded, looking at the stones with a mix of excitement and apprehension. He had been practicing his wind powers, but this was different. This required precision and coordination with the others. Zara, always quick to offer support, stepped up beside him. We've got your back, Kai. Just tell us what you need. Leo and Mira joined them, both ready to help in any way they could. The four of them formed a small circle, their minds already working on a plan. All right, Kai began, trying to project confidence. I'll use the wind to lift the stones. Zara, I need you to guide them with your tech. Maybe you can use some kind of hologram to show the best positions. Leo, can you help by pushing the stones into place if they start to wobble? Leo nodded, flexing his muscles. No problem. I'll make sure they stay steady. Mira, Kai continued, I know your powers are more focused on healing, but your calming presence could help keep everything balanced. Can you do that? Mira smiled softly. Of course, Kai. I'll do my best. With the plan in place, Kai took a deep breath and focused on the stones. He could feel the wind swirling around him, ready to respond to his command. Slowly, he raised his hands, and the wind began to lift the first stone. Zara quickly activated a small device on her wrist, projecting a holographic grid over the area. "Here, Kai, move it to the left a bit. There's a better spot there." Kai adjusted the wind, guiding the stone towards the position Zara indicated. But as it moved, it started to wobble, threatening to tip over. "Leo, now!" Kai called out. Leo sprang into action, using his strength to steady the stone and push it into place. The stone settled perfectly, and Kai let out a breath he didn't realize he was holding. "Good job, everyone," he said, feeling a surge of confidence. "Let's keep going." They continued working together, moving the remaining stones one by one. Each time a stone wavered, Leo was there to stabilize it. Zara's holographic guide kept them on track, and Myra's calm energy helped Kai maintain control of the wind. By the time they placed the final stone, the team was sweating but smiling. The stones were arranged in a perfect circle, just as Orin had instructed. Master Orin observed the entire exercise, his expression thoughtful. As the last stone settled into place, he nodded approvingly. "Well done! You've shown that true strength comes from unity. Remember this as you face greater challenges in the days to come." Kai and the others exchanged satisfied smiles. They had passed the first test, and the bond between them had only grown stronger. Facing inner doubts. After the successful exercise, the Guardians moved to a new training area. This one was filled with strange, shimmering devices that hummed with energy. Zara's eyes lit up with curiosity as she approached one of the machines, clearly excited by the technology. "These are tech-based training modules," Master Orin explained. "They will test your ability to use both your powers and your intellect. Zara, this is your domain. Show us what you can do." Zara hesitated for a moment, feeling the weight of everyone's expectations. She had always been good with technology, but this was different. This was about proving her worth as a guardian. Kai noticed her hesitation and stepped closer. "You've got this, Zara. We're all here to help." Zara nodded, taking a deep breath. She approached the nearest device, a complex structure of gears, wires, and glowing crystals. The task was to activate the device and use it to reveal a hidden path in the forest. She studied the device for a moment, then began adjusting the controls. Her fingers moved quickly, instinctively finding the right switches and dials. But as she activated the main power, the device sparked, and the lights flickered dangerously. Zara gasped, stepping back in panic. I think I did something wrong." Leo, who was watching from the side, quickly moved to her side. "It's okay, Zara. Just take a deep breath. You can fix it." But Zara shook her head, her hands trembling. "What if I mess it up again? What if I ruin everything?" Kai could see the fear in her eyes, the fear of failure, of letting everyone down. He knew that feeling all too well. "Zara," he said gently, "remember what Orin said earlier. We're a team. We're not here to judge you. We're here to help. Just take it one step at a time. You don't have to do it alone." Mira stepped forward, placing a comforting hand on Zara's shoulder. "You've already done amazing things, Zara. This is just another challenge, and we believe in you." Zara looked at her friends, their faces filled with support and encouragement. She took a deep breath, trying to steady her nerves. "Okay, I'll try again." With renewed determination, Zara returned to the device. She carefully adjusted the controls, this time moving more slowly, more deliberately. The device hummed and the lights stabilized, glowing with a soft, steady light. She flipped the final switch and the device sprang to life. A beam of light shot out, illuminating a hidden path that wound through the forest. Zara stepped back, her heart pounding but a smile spreading across her face. She had done it. Master Orin, who had been watching quietly, approached with a proud smile. "Well done, Zara. You faced your fears and succeeded. That is the mark of a true guardian." Zara's smile grew wider as she looked at her friends. They had believed in her, and that had made all the difference. A lesson in strategy. As the day progressed, the Guardians moved to yet another training area, this one marked by a large, circular ground with symbols and markings etched into the dirt. It was the strategy circle, a place where they would learn to think tactically and work together to overcome challenges. Master Orin stood in the center, his gaze sweeping over the group. "This exercise will test your ability to strategize and make decisions under pressure. Leo, you will take the lead in this exercise." Leo straightened, feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. He had always prided himself on his physical abilities, but strategy was something new to him. Orin explained the task. "You will face an imaginary enemy, represented by these markers," he said, pointing to various symbols around the circle. "Your goal is to protect your team and overcome the enemy using both strength and strategy." Leo nodded, already forming a plan in his mind. He positioned his friends around the circle, assigning each a role based on their strengths. "Zara, you'll be our eyes and ears. Use your tech to keep track of the enemy's movements," Leo instructed. "Mira, stay in the center and be ready to heal anyone who gets hurt. Kai, you and I will take on the enemy directly, using our powers to defend and attack." The others nodded, trusting Leo's judgment. The exercise began, and the markers moved around the circle, simulating an enemy attack. At first, Leo charged in with his usual boldness, using his sword to strike down the markers that represented the enemy. But as the exercise continued, the markers moved faster, and the situation became more complex. Leo found himself overwhelmed, struggling to keep up with the enemy's movements. His initial strategy of direct attack wasn't working, and the team was starting to falter. Orin, observing from the side, called out, "Leo, remember, strategy isn't just about strength. It's about thinking ahead, considering all the options." Leo gritted his teeth, realizing that he needed to change his approach. He paused for a moment, taking in the situation. The markers were closing in on Kai and Mira, and Zara was struggling to keep up with the rapid movements. "Everyone, fall back!" Leo shouted, regrouping his team. "Zara, can you create a distraction to slow them down?" Zara quickly activated a device that emitted a bright light, causing the markers to hesitate. "Done!" "Kai, use your wind powers to push them back," Leo ordered. Kai focused his energy, creating a powerful gust of wind that pushed the markers away from Mira and Zara. Leo then positioned himself and Kai in a defensive stance, protecting the others while they regained their footing. "Now, let's counterattack together." The team moved as one, combining their strengths to overcome the enemy. Leo's strategy had shifted from pure offense to a balanced approach, using both defense and teamwork to win the day. When the exercise ended, the markers were all down, and the team stood victorious. Master Orin approached with a nod of approval. "You learned an important lesson today, Leo. A guardian must be both strong and wise. You adapted your strategy and led your team to success. Well done." Leo felt a rush of pride and relief. He had struggled at first, but with the support of his friends and Orin's guidance, he had found a way to succeed. A bond forged in fire. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the training grounds, the Guardians gathered around a small fire. It was a tradition they had started the night before, a way to reflect on the day's events and strengthen their bond. Kai, Zara, Leo, and Mira sat in a circle, the firelight dancing on their faces. There was a sense of calm and satisfaction in the air, the kind that comes after a day of hard work and shared victories. Kai broke the silence with a soft chuckle. I still can't believe we managed to move those stones this morning. I thought for sure I'd drop one on someone's foot. Zara laughed, her earlier anxiety now a distant memory. You did great, Kai. And Leo, that strategy exercise was intense. I didn't think we'd pull it off, but you figured it out. Leo smiled, feeling a warmth in his chest that had nothing to do with the fire. It wasn't just me. We did it together. I guess that's what being a guardian is all about. Mira nodded, her voice soft but firm. We're learning to trust each other, to rely on each other's strengths. That's what will make us strong enough to face Draven. Kai looked around at his friends, feeling a deep sense of gratitude. We've come so far in such a short time, and we've got a long way to go, but I'm glad I'm on this journey with you all. The group fell into a comfortable silence, each of them lost in their thoughts. The challenges ahead were daunting, but they knew they could face them together. Master Orin watched from a short distance away, a smile playing on his lips. The Guardians were growing stronger, not just in their abilities, but in their bond with each other. They were becoming a true team, ready to face whatever the Enchanted Realm threw at them. As the fire crackled and the stars appeared in the night sky, the Guardians knew that they were on the right path. They had trained hard, faced their fears, and come out stronger on the other side. And tomorrow they would continue their journey, ready to protect the Enchanted Realm from the darkness that threatened it. But for now, they would rest, secure in the knowledge that they had each other, and that, they knew, was the greatest strength of all. Chapter 4. Quest for the Mystic Gem. Quest for the Mystic Gem, a journey through the Whispering Forest. The Guardians embark on a daring quest to find the Mystic Gem, venturing into the mysterious Whispering Forest. As they navigate through enchanted trees and eerie shadows, they uncover ancient clues and face off against Draven's minions in a fierce battle. Along the way, Mira's healing abilities shine as she connects with a wounded mystical creature, forming a bond that guides the team closer to their goal. United by their courage and teamwork, the Guardians move one step closer to protecting the Enchanted Realm. The map to the Mystic Gem. The day was coming to an end at Master Orin's training grounds. The golden rays of the setting sun filtered through the tall trees, casting long shadows across the clearing where the Guardians had gathered. After another intense day of training, their thoughts turned to the next step in their journey, finding the Mystic Gem. Kai, Zara, Leo, and Mira sat in a circle on the soft grass, their eyes filled with determination and excitement. Master Orin had hinted earlier that their next task would be crucial, and they knew it was time to embark on their first real quest. "So what do we know about the Mystic Gem?" Leo asked, breaking the silence. Master Orin stood nearby, observing them with a calm smile. The Mystic Gem is said to hold incredible power, capable of protecting the Enchanted Realm from Draven's dark magic. However, its location has been hidden for centuries, guarded by ancient magic. Kai nodded, feeling a mix of excitement and responsibility. "We need to find it before Draven does, but where do we start?" Zara, always quick to think on her feet, reached into her bag and pulled out a stack of old scrolls they had been studying earlier. "I remember reading something about the Mystic Gem in these. Maybe there's a clue hidden somewhere." They carefully unrolled the scrolls, scanning the faded writing for any mention of the gem. As they searched, Kai's fingers brushed against something unusual, a small folded piece of parchment tucked between the scrolls. "Hey, what's this?" Kai asked, pulling out the parchment. He unfolded it, revealing a map that had been hidden away for who knows how long. The map was old, with edges frayed and yellowed, but the details were clear enough to see. The map depicted the enchanted realm, with various landmarks marked by symbols. One symbol, in particular, caught their attention, a glowing gem etched into the center of the whispering forest. "This must be it," Kai exclaimed. "The mystic gem is hidden in the whispering forest." Zara leaned in closer, examining the map with interest. "There's something written here, in an ancient script. Let me try to decipher it." As Zara worked on the inscription, the others waited with bated breath. After a few moments, Zara looked up, her eyes gleaming with excitement. "It says, 'Only those who walk the path of unity and courage shall find the gem of light.' This must be our first clue." The Guardians exchanged determined looks. The path to the mystic gem would be filled with challenges, but they were ready to face them together. Master Orin approached, placing a reassuring hand on Kai's shoulder. "Remember, the journey ahead will test not only your abilities, but also your bond as a team. Trust in each other, and you will find the strength to overcome any obstacle." With their hearts filled with anticipation and a hint of trepidation, the Guardians set off for the Whispering Forest, the ancient map leading the way. They knew this quest would be unlike anything they had faced before, but they were prepared to do whatever it took to protect the enchanted realm. Into the Whispering Forest. The Whispering Forest was unlike any place the Guardians had ever seen. As they ventured deeper into its heart, the trees grew taller and denser, their leaves rustling with a soft, eerie whisper. The light from the sun barely penetrated the thick canopy, casting the forest in a dim, mysterious glow. "This place gives me the creeps," Leo muttered, glancing around at the shadows that seemed to move on their own. "Stay alert," Zara warned, her tech devices scanning the area for any signs of danger. "We know Draven's minions are out here somewhere." As if on cue, a sudden rustling sound echoed through the trees, causing the group to freeze. From behind a cluster of enchanted trees, dark shapes began to emerge. Draven's minions, their eyes glowing with malevolent intent. "There they are!" Kai shouted, readying himself for battle. The minions, with their twisted forms and menacing snarls, started closing in on the Guardians, but the group was ready. Leo quickly took charge, his instincts kicking in as he formulated a plan. "Zara, create a distraction with your tech. Mira, stay close to Kai and me. We'll hold them off together." Zara didn't waste a second. She activated one of her gadgets, sending a burst of bright light into the air, temporarily blinding the minions and buying them some time. "Now, Kai," Leo called out. Kai focused his energy, summoning a powerful gust of wind that sent the minions staggering backward. Mira stayed close, her hands glowing with healing light, ready to help anyone who got hurt. The battle was fierce, with the minions trying to overwhelm them at every turn. But the Guardians fought back with everything they had, using their unique abilities to keep the enemy at bay. Zara's tech created barriers that blocked the minions' attacks, while Leo's strength and combat skills kept them at a distance. Kai's control over the wind allowed him to knock back multiple enemies at once, and Mira's healing powers ensured that they stayed in fighting shape. Despite the intensity of the battle, the Guardians worked seamlessly as a team, their bond growing stronger with each passing moment. They knew they couldn't afford to lose. Too much was at stake. Finally, after what felt like hours but was only minutes, the last of the minions fell, dissolving into shadows as they were defeated. The forest grew quiet once more, the only sound being the heavy breathing of the exhausted Guardians. "We did it!" Kai panted, wiping sweat from his forehead. "But we need to stay on our guard. There could be more of them out there." Leo nodded in agreement, his eyes scanning the dark forest. "Let's keep moving. We can't let anything stop us from finding that gem." With renewed determination, the Guardians pressed on, deeper into the whispering forest. They knew the journey ahead would only get more difficult, but they were ready to face whatever challenges came their way. The power of healing. After the intense battle, the Guardians found a secluded clearing within the whispering forest to catch their breath. The air was filled with the scent of pine and moss, and the gentle sunlight filtering through the trees provided a moment of calm amidst the chaos. "Is everyone okay?" Mira asked, her voice soft and concerned as she looked over her friends. Kai nodded, though he winced slightly as he moved his arm. "Just a few scratches, nothing too serious." Mira immediately moved closer, her hands glowing with a soft, healing light. "Let me take care of that," she said gently, placing her hands over Kai's wounds. As she worked, the cuts and bruises began to fade, replaced by healthy, unbroken skin. The warmth of her healing energy spread through Kai, easing the pain and leaving him feeling refreshed. "Thanks, Mira," Kai said, giving her a grateful smile. "You're amazing." Mira blushed slightly, but smiled back. "It's what I'm here for. I just want to make sure we're all okay." Leo, who had been watching quietly, gave Mira an approving nod. "You really have a gift, Mira. We're lucky to have you with us." Zara chimed in, her voice filled with admiration. "You're not just a healer, Mira. You're the heart of this team. You keep us going." Mira's confidence grew with each word of praise. She had always known her powers were important, but hearing her friends acknowledge her role made her feel truly valued. She realized that healing wasn't just about fixing physical wounds, it was about bringing the team together, keeping their spirits strong. As the group rested and tended to their injuries, they discussed the ambush and what they could learn from it. They knew they had to be more vigilant, more prepared for whatever lay ahead. But they also knew that as long as they stuck together, they could overcome any challenge. "We'll get that gem," Kai said with determination, "and we'll do it together." The others nodded in agreement, their resolve as strong as ever. With their spirits renewed and their bond even stronger, they prepared to continue their journey through the whispering forest. The mystical creature. The deeper the Guardians ventured into the whispering forest, the more magical and mysterious it became. The trees seemed to glow with an inner light, and the air was thick with the hum of unseen energy. It was as if the forest itself was alive, watching their every move. As they walked, they stumbled upon a shimmering glade, a place of such beauty that it took their breath away. The ground was covered in luminescent flowers that glowed in shades of blue and purple, and the air was filled with tiny floating lights that danced like fireflies. But the most striking sight in the glade was the small creature lying in the grass, a dragon no bigger than a house cat, with scales that shimmered like a rainbow. Its wings were tucked close to its body, and its eyes were closed as if it were in pain. Mira gasped and rushed forward, her heart filled with concern for the tiny dragon. "Oh no, it's hurt!" The others gathered around, watching as Mira knelt beside the dragon. She reached out with her hand, her healing light glowing softly as she gently touched its scales. "Don't be afraid," Mira whispered, her voice soothing. "We're here to help you." The dragon opened its eyes, revealing a deep, ancient wisdom in its gaze. It looked at Mira with trust, sensing her pure intentions. As Mira concentrated, the wounds on the dragon's body began to heal, the pain fading away. The dragon let out a soft, contented sound, its eyes closing in relief. When the healing was complete, the dragon unfurled its wings and stood up, its strength restored. It looked at Mira with gratitude, nuzzling her hand with its tiny snout. "You're welcome," Mira said with a smile, her heart swelling with joy at having helped the creature. The dragon then turned to the rest of the guardians, its gaze filled with purpose. It let out a soft, melodic trill, and suddenly a vision filled the minds of the guardians, a vision of the mystic gem hidden deep within a cave at the heart of the forest. "Did you all see that?" Kai asked, his eyes wide with amazement. Leo nodded, equally awed. "The dragon is showing us the way to the gem." The dragon nodded, as if confirming Leo's words. It then fluttered its wings and took to the air, flying in the direction of the cave. The guardians knew they were meant to follow. "Let's go," Zara said, her excitement bubbling over. "We're getting closer." With the dragon leading the way, the guardians followed, their hearts filled with hope and determination. The whispering forest was full of dangers and mysteries, but they had a guide now, a new friend who believed in their mission just as much as they did. As they journeyed deeper into the forest, they knew they were on the right path. The mystic gem was within reach, and with it, the power to protect the enchanted realm from Draven's dark forces. But more than that, they knew they had each other, and together they were unstoppable. Chapter 5. Ancient Temple Trials. Temple Trials unleash the Guardians' strength. The Guardians step into the breathtaking ancient temple, their hearts racing with excitement as they embark on a quest for the fabled mystic gem. Each room they explore unveils enchanting yet perilous traps that challenge both their teamwork and unique skills. With every twist and turn, Kai discovers the true potential of his elemental powers, feeling them surge with newfound mastery. Meanwhile, Zara blossoms, her confidence soaring as she deftly disables intricate traps with her tech-savvy brilliance. Together, they navigate these magical obstacles, drawing strength from each other and forging an unbreakable bond. Their adventures awaken a vibrant sense of camaraderie and resilience, equipping them for the grander challenges that await beyond the temple's ancient walls. The mystery of the mystic gem beckons, and as they face whatever comes next, they stand united, ready to turn each trial into a memory that will last a lifetime. Entering the ancient temple. The guardians approached the towering ancient temple, its crumbling stones entwined with the roots of ancient trees. The air was thick with an eerie, magical energy, and the flickering light from glowing gemstones embedded in the walls cast dancing shadows on the stone pathway. Kai, Zara, Leo, and Mira stood at the temple's entrance, taking in the daunting sight before them. The ancient carvings on the temple walls depicted the legends of the guardians who had come before them, a reminder of the challenges they were about to face. "Wow, this place is amazing," Kai whispered, his voice echoing slightly in the vastness of the temple entrance, "but also kind of scary." Zara nodded, her eyes wide as she examined the intricate designs on the walls. "This temple was built to test us. We have to be careful and work together." Master Orin, who had accompanied them to the temple, stepped forward. "Remember, Guardians, this is where your training and teamwork will be put to the test. Each trial is designed to challenge your abilities. Stay focused and trust in one another." With a deep breath, Kai stepped forward, leading the group into the temple. The dim light inside made the atmosphere even more tense, and the air was filled with the faint sound of water dripping from stone structures. As they ventured deeper into the temple, Mira spotted a glimmering inscription on the wall. "Look, there's something written here," she said, pointing to the ancient script. Zara crouched down to get a better look. "It's a riddle, and I think it's warning us about the first trap." Kai's eyes lit up with determination. "We've got this. Let's figure it out together." Navigating the first trap. The Guardians moved cautiously through the temple's stone corridors, their senses heightened as they anticipated the first trap. The walls seemed to close in around them, and the faint glow of the gemstones provided just enough light to see the path ahead. Suddenly the ground beneath them began to rumble. Mira gasped as the floor shifted, revealing a series of large, sharp spikes rising from the ground. "Everyone, get back!" Leo shouted, pulling Mira out of the way just in time. Kai stepped forward, his heart pounding. He closed his eyes and concentrated, calling upon his elemental powers. With a wave of his hand, he summoned a gust of wind that swirled around the spikes, slowing their rise. "Great job, Kai!" Zara cheered, her voice filled with relief. But the spikes weren't stopping. Kai strained to maintain control, beads of sweat forming on his forehead. "I can't hold them off forever," he grunted. Zara quickly assessed the situation. There must be a way to disable the trap. Look for anything that might help. Leo's sharp eyes spotted a series of small holes in the wall, aligned with the spikes. "I think these are the key. If we can block them, it might stop the spikes from rising." Zara nodded, quickly rummaging through her bag. She pulled out a handful of small tech devices and handed them to Leo. "Place these in the holes. They should disrupt the mechanism." Leo and Kai worked together to place the devices in the holes while Mira kept watch. As soon as the last device was in place, the spikes stopped moving and slowly retracted back into the ground. A collective sigh of relief filled the air. "We did it!" Mira said, her voice steady despite the adrenaline still coursing through her veins. Kai smiled, feeling a surge of pride. "That was close, but we handled it together." "One trial down," Zara added, her confidence growing. "But I have a feeling the next ones won't be this easy." The shifting floors. After their success with the first trap, the Guardians continued deeper into the temple, each step echoing in the vast hollow space. The dim light and the cold, damp air made the atmosphere even more foreboding. As they reached a large chamber, the ground beneath them began to tremble. Kai's heart skipped a beat as he saw the floor start to shift, creating a widening gap in the middle of the room. On the other side of the gap was a door, likely leading to the next part of the temple. Leo, ever the strategist, quickly assessed the situation. "We need to find a way across, and fast. This gap is getting wider by the second." Kai looked at the gap, then at his friends. He knew he had to step up. "I can try to use my water powers to create a bridge, but I'll need your help to keep it stable." Mira nodded, ready to assist. "I can use my healing magic to keep everyone steady. Zara, can you set up some markers to guide us?" Zara was already on it, deploying small holographic markers along the path Kai was about to create. "We'll need to move quickly, but we can do this." Kai took a deep breath, focusing all his energy on the task. He raised his hands, and a stream of water flowed from his palms, forming a narrow bridge across the gap. It shimmered under the faint light, delicate but strong. "Faster! Faster!" Leo shouted, bounding across the shimmering bridge with agility and purpose. Each step he took sent ripples of energy coursing through the air, and Mira remained close behind, her healing magic weaving a protective aura that steadied them both. As they dashed ahead, Zara hesitated for a heartbeat, her pulse pounding in her ears. The moment her foot touched the translucent expanse beneath her, a wave of exhilaration washed over her. "This is absolutely breathtaking, Kai," she exclaimed, exhilaration sparking in her voice as she felt the cool flowing water dance beneath her feet like a pulse of life. With a final burst of speed, Zara pushed forward, joining the duo just as they reached the end of the bridge. A resonant thud reverberated through the air, echoing as the gap behind them sealed with a dramatic flourish. The ethereal bridge flickered and dissolved into an enchanting mist, leaving the trio standing before an ancient, imposing door that towered above them like a sentry guarding untold secrets. "We did it!" Leo declared, the thrill of their accomplishment igniting his voice. Relief mingled with an electrifying anticipation that crackled in the air. His eyes sparkled with determination, even as an unshakable intuition gnawed at him. But something tells me this is just the calm before the storm. As the mist swirled around them, the door creaked open, revealing a shadowy realm where challenges awaited, and the Guardians braced themselves for the adventure that loomed ahead. The final puzzle. The Guardians entered the next chamber, their senses alert for any sign of danger. The room was different from the previous ones, larger, with walls covered in glowing symbols that pulsed with an otherworldly light. As they stepped deeper inside, the air became thick with a palpable energy, tinged with an ethereal hum that resonated throughout the space. Shadows danced along the floor, shifting and weaving, as if they had a life of their own, while the glowing symbols seemed to whisper secrets long forgotten. Each pulse of light illuminated strange, intricate patterns that suggested ancient knowledge and power, igniting a curiosity within the Guardians. They exchanged cautious glances, aware that this place held mysteries beyond their comprehension. In the center of the chamber, a large, circular pedestal emerged from the ground, adorned with the same symbols that adorned the walls. A faint light emanated from it, casting an inviting glow that beckoned them closer. The Guardians felt an irresistible pull, urging them to approach the pedestal and uncover its purpose. With hearts pounding in their chests, they took hesitant steps forward, fully aware that whatever lay ahead could change the course of their journey forever. Kai stepped forward, examining the symbols. "These look like they're part of a puzzle." "Definitely," Zara agreed, her tech instincts kicking in. "And I bet solving it is the only way to get to the mystic gem." The Guardians gathered around the large stone tablet in the center of the room. It was covered in symbols that matched the ones on the walls, but they were jumbled and out of order. "We need to arrange these symbols in the correct sequence," Leo said, looking at the tablet. "But how?" Kai looked at his friends, knowing that this challenge would require all of them. "Let's combine our strengths. I'll create a shield around us in case the puzzle triggers any traps. Zara, you work on decoding the symbols. Leo, you and I can move the pieces. Mira, keep us all focused and calm." Mira placed her hands on each of her friend's shoulders, sending a wave of calm energy through them. "We've got this. Just focus." Zara's fingers flew over the tablet as she analysed the symbols, her mind racing to decode their meanings. "I think I've got it," she said after a few tense moments. "The symbols represent the elements: fire, water, earth, and air. We need to align them with the corresponding symbols on the walls." With Kai's protective shield in place, Leo and Kai worked together to move the pieces on the tablet, guided by Zara's instructions. Each time they aligned a symbol correctly, the corresponding symbol on the wall lit up brighter. Finally, with the last piece in place, the entire room glowed with a brilliant light. The ground beneath them shook, and a hidden door slid open, revealing a staircase leading down into darkness. "We did it!" Zara exclaimed, her face lighting up with pride. Master Orin's voice echoed through the chamber, filled with warmth and approval. "You've all done well. The trials were meant to test your ability to work as a team, and you've proven your strength. The next part of your journey awaits." Kai looked at his friends, feeling a deep sense of accomplishment. They had faced their fears, relied on each other, and overcome the challenges together. As they descended the staircase, the air grew cooler, and a faint, mystical glow began to illuminate the walls. They knew that the mystic gem was close, and with it, the next step in their adventure. But they also knew that the journey was far from over. Draven's dark forces were still out there, and the real battle was yet to come. With a fierce resolve igniting their spirits, the Guardians pressed on through the thick mists of uncertainty, their hearts pounding in rhythm with the pulse of adventure. Each step resonated with the anticipation of the unknown, and the air crackled with the promise of trials that would test their mettle. They were not mere adventurers. They were champions of hope, wielding courage like a sword against the shadows of doubt. The path before them twisted and turned, revealing the spectre of challenges lurking just out of sight, yet a fire burned within them, a beacon guiding their way. With every stride, they forged a bond unbreakable, united by a shared purpose. Their challenges would not define them. Rather, they would transform every obstacle into a stepping stone, propelling them closer to their destiny. With each heartbeat, they embraced the thrill of the quest ahead, ready to conquer whatever fate dared to unveil. Chapter 6. The Prophecy Uncovered. Guardians unite as they discover destiny. Within the mystical embrace of the enchanted realm, the brave Guardians stand on the brink of a transformative journey that will irrevocably alter their destinies. As they convene in a hidden grove bathed in shimmering light, they stumble upon an ancient prophecy that entwines their fates in an epic showdown against the sinister dark sorcerer, Draven. The burden of this profound revelation challenges their strength, intensifies their unbreakable bonds, and urges Kai to rise and fully accept his destiny as the leader of their courageous fellowship. The day was coming to a close, and the golden light of the setting sun cast a warm glow over the enchanted realm. Kai led the way as the Guardians ventured deeper into the forest, following a path that seemed to call out to them. Mira walked close to him, her eyes wide with wonder at the beauty around them. Leo, always ready for action, kept a vigilant watch, while Zara's mind raced with thoughts of what they might find. The path led them to a hidden grove, a place where the trees seemed to stand taller, their branches arching overhead to form a natural cathedral. In the centre of the grove, bathed in a soft, shimmering light, was an ancient stone pedestal. Atop it rested a glowing artifact, its surface etched with intricate symbols that pulsed with a gentle light. "This must be it," Kai whispered, his voice tinged with awe. The artifact Master Orin spoke of. Zara, always the first to dive into a mystery, approached the pedestal with caution. Her fingers danced over the symbols, her eyes narrowing in concentration. These markings, they're a mix of ancient languages. Some I recognize, and others I've never seen before, but I think I can decode them. As Zara worked, the others gathered around, the anticipation building with each moment. Leo positioned himself near the edge of the grove, his hand on the hilt of his sword, ready to defend his friends if needed. Mira, sensing the significance of the moment, reached out and placed her hand on the artifact. The moment she did, a brilliant light burst forth, enveloping the Guardians in a warm golden glow. The light faded, leaving the group in stunned silence, but as the last rays of light dimmed, a vision appeared before them, an ancient prophecy unfolding like a story written in the stars. It spoke of 4 young Guardians, each with unique powers, destined to unite and protect the enchanted realm from a great evil. The prophecy ended as suddenly as it began, leaving the Guardians breathless. They exchanged glances, each of them processing what they had just seen. "We're the Guardians," Zara said, her voice barely above a whisper. "The prophecy. It's about us." Fears unveiled. The gravity of the prophecy weighed heavily on the Guardians as they gathered around the artifact. The once cheerful atmosphere now felt thick with uncertainty. Each of them was lost in thought, grappling with the realization that their lives were about to change forever. "I'm not sure I'm ready for this," Zara admitted, breaking the silence. She looked down at her hands, the same hands that had just decoded the prophecy. "What if my tech skills aren't enough? What if I can't help when it matters most?" Leo frowned, his usual confidence shaken. "I've trained my whole life to be a warrior, but what if I fail? What if I can't protect you all when the time comes?" Mira, always the calming presence, gently placed a hand on Leo's arm, but even she couldn't hide her own fears. "I've always tried to heal and help others, but what if I'm not strong enough? What if my powers can't save us when we need it most?" Kai listened to his friends, feeling the weight of their words settle on his shoulders. He had always been the one to find solutions, to keep everyone moving forward, but now he wasn't sure what to say. He feared the responsibility that the prophecy had placed on him, the fear of leading them into danger. "I'm scared too," Kai finally admitted, his voice quiet but steady. "But we're in this together. We have to be strong for each other." The group fell into silence again, but this time it was different. They weren't alone in their fears, they were sharing them, understanding that they all had doubts, but also that they could rely on one another. Strength in unity. After the emotional confessions, the Guardians began to talk about the prophecy and what it meant for them. The fear that had clouded their hearts started to lift, replaced by a sense of purpose that filled the air with a palpable energy. The weight of uncertainty began to dissolve, and hope sparked in their eyes. "Maybe the prophecy isn't just about our powers," Zara suggested, her voice more confident now, resonating with an inner strength that inspired the others. "Maybe it's about how we use them together. We're stronger when we're united, a force to be reckoned with." Leo nodded, his warrior's instinct kicking in and igniting a fire within him. "We can combine our strengths. If we work as a team, we'll be unstoppable. We've already faced so much together. This is just the next step on our journey." His eyes sparkled with determination as he envisioned the possibilities ahead, believing that they could overcome any challenge. Mira smiled, her earlier fears fading as new ideas took shape. "What if we create a protective barrier when we're in battle? I could use my healing powers to strengthen it, while Zara's tech could enhance it with innovative designs. Leo could lead the defense, bringing tactical prowess, and Kai, you could guide us with your unique insight." The collaboration among them sparked excitement, each contribution weaving into a tapestry of creativity and strategy. Kai looked at his friends, his heart swelling with pride and admiration. They were all so strong, so brave, and they believed in him without hesitation. With vulnerability and strength, he couldn't let them down. "You're right," he said, standing up straighter, as if the very resolve of their aims fortified him. "We need to trust each other. We're not just a team, we're a family. And families stick together through thick and thin, facing the world as one." The Guardians spent the next hour sketching out plans, using sticks to draw detailed diagrams in the dirt. They animatedly discussed their strengths and weaknesses, sharing ideas on how to support each other in the battles to come. With each word exchanged and each idea shared, their bond grew stronger, a formidable connection yielding new energy. They mapped strategies and contingencies, ensuring that every member had a vital role in their unified approach. By the time they were done, the fear that had once gripped them had transformed into a steadfast determination. A sense of unity brought clarity to their mission, They were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, not as individuals with solitary powers, but as a united force, an indomitable family forged through trials and promises, ready to protect one another at all costs. Kai's resolve. As the sun gracefully dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple and casting elongated shadows across the grove, a profound shift stirred within Kai. He had long carried the weight of being a reluctant leader, grappling with self-doubt and questioning whether he could ever meet the lofty expectations imposed upon him. However, in this serene moment, with the gentle rustle of leaves whispering encouragement and the warmth of companionship enveloping him, he glanced around at his friends, his chosen family. Their unwavering support ignited a spark of determination within him. In their presence, Kai felt a surge of confidence and clarity. He understood that this was his moment to rise, to embrace the role he was meant to fulfill, and to guide them all into an uncertain but hopeful future. "Kai," Mira's gentle voice broke through his thoughts. "Are you okay?" Kai smiled, feeling a new sense of clarity. "Yeah, I am. I've been thinking a lot about what this prophecy means, and I realize now that it's not just about the powers we have. It's about how we use them, how we work together, and I want you all to know that I'm ready to lead us in the fight against Draven." His friends looked at him with expressions of pride and trust. "We're with you, Kai," Zara said, her voice filled with determination. "We'll face whatever comes together." Leo stepped forward, placing his hand on Kai's shoulder. "You've got this, Kai. We all believe in you." Mira joined them, her eyes shining with hope. "And we'll be there to support you every step of the way." Kai took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the prophecy settle onto his shoulders, but it no longer felt overwhelming. Instead, it felt like a mantle he was ready to wear. He reached out, and the others placed their hands on top of his, creating a circle of unity. "We're the guardians of the Enchanted Realm," Kai said, his voice strong and clear, "and we're going to protect it, together." As they stood there, hands joined, the last rays of the sun bathed them in golden light. It was a moment of peace, a calm before the storm. They knew the road ahead would be difficult, filled with dangers and challenges, but they were ready. With their hearts united and their purpose clear, they would face whatever the future held with courage and strength. As the light faded and night began to fall, the guardians left the grove, their steps sure and their spirits high. They were ready to fulfill their destinies, to protect the Enchanted Realm, and to stand against the darkness that threatened it. And at the heart of it all, Kai knew that they would succeed, not just because of their powers, but because of the bond they shared, a bond that no darkness could break. Chapter 6. The Prophecy Uncovered. Guardians unite as they discover destiny. Within the mystical embrace of the Enchanted Realm, the brave guardians stand on the brink of a transformative journey that will irrevocably alter their destinies. As they convene in a hidden grove bathed in shimmering light, they stumble upon an ancient prophecy that entwines their fates in an epic showdown against the sinister dark sorcerer, Draven. The burden of this profound revelation challenges their strength, intensifies their unbreakable bonds, and urges Kai to rise and fully accept his destiny as the leader of their courageous fellowship. The day was coming to a close, and the golden light of the setting sun cast a warm glow over the Enchanted Realm. Kai led the way as the guardians ventured deeper into the forest, following a path that seemed to call out to them. Mira walked close to him, her eyes wide with wonder at the beauty around them. Leo, always ready for action, kept a vigilant watch, while Zara's mind raced with thoughts of what they might find. The path led them to a hidden grove, a place where the trees seemed to stand taller, their branches arching overhead to form a natural cathedral. In the centre of the grove, bathed in a soft, shimmering light, was an ancient stone pedestal. Atop it rested a glowing artifact, its surface etched with intricate symbols that pulsed with a gentle light. "This must be it," Kai whispered, his voice tinged with awe. "The artifact Master Orin spoke of." Zara, always the first to dive into a mystery, approached the pedestal with caution. Her fingers danced over the symbols, her eyes narrowing in concentration. "These markings, they're a mix of ancient languages, some I recognize and others I've never seen before, but I think I can decode them." As Zara worked, the others gathered around, the anticipation building with each moment. Leo positioned himself near the edge of the grove, his hand on the hilt of his sword, ready to defend his friends if needed. Mira, sensing the significance of the moment, reached out and placed her hand on the artifact. The moment she did, a brilliant light burst forth, enveloping the Guardians in a warm golden glow. The light faded, leaving the group in stunned silence. But as the last rays of light dimmed, a vision appeared before them, an ancient prophecy unfolding like a story written in the stars. It spoke of 4 young guardians, each with unique powers, destined to unite and protect the enchanted realm from a great evil. The prophecy ended as suddenly as it began, leaving the guardians breathless. They exchanged glances, each of them processing what they had just seen. "We're the Guardians," Zara said, her voice barely above a whisper. "The prophecy, it's about us." Fears unveiled. The gravity of the prophecy weighed heavily on the Guardians as they gathered around the artifact. The once cheerful atmosphere now felt thick with uncertainty. Each of them was lost in thought, grappling with the realization that their lives were about to change forever. "I'm not sure I'm ready for this," Zara admitted, breaking the silence. She looked down at her hands, the same hands that had just decoded the prophecy. "What if my tech skills aren't enough? What if I can't help when it matters most?" Leo frowned, his usual confidence shaken. "I've trained my whole life to be a warrior, but what if I fail? What if I can't protect you all when the time comes?" Mira, always the calming presence, gently placed a hand on Leo's arm. But even she couldn't hide her own fears. "I've always tried to heal and help others, but what if I'm not strong enough? What if my powers can't save us when we need it most?" Kai listened to his friends, feeling the weight of their words settle on his shoulders. He had always been the one to find solutions, to keep everyone moving forward, but now he wasn't sure what to say. He feared the responsibility that the prophecy had placed on him, the fear of leading them into danger. "I'm scared too," Kai finally admitted, his voice quiet but steady. "But we're in this together. We have to be strong for each other." The group fell into silence again, but this time it was different. They weren't alone in their fears. They were sharing them, understanding that they all had doubts, but also that they could rely on one another. Strength in unity. After the emotional confessions, the Guardians began to talk about the prophecy and what it meant for them. The fear that had clouded their hearts started to lift, replaced by a sense of purpose that filled the air with a palpable energy. The weight of uncertainty began to dissolve, and hope sparked in their eyes. "Maybe the prophecy isn't just about our powers," Zara suggested, her voice more confident now, resonating with an inner strength that inspired the others. "Maybe it's about how we use them together. We're stronger when we're united, a force to be reckoned with." Leo nodded, his warrior's instinct kicking in and igniting a fire within him. "We can combine our strengths. If we work as a team, we'll be unstoppable. We've already faced so much together. This is just the next step on our journey." His eyes sparkled with determination as he envisioned the possibilities ahead, believing that they could overcome any challenge. Mira smiled, her earlier fears fading as new ideas took shape. "What if we create a protective barrier when we're in battle? I could use my healing powers to strengthen it, while Zara's tech could enhance it with innovative designs. Leo could lead the defense, bringing tactical prowess, and Kai, you could guide us with your unique insight." The collaboration among them sparked excitement, each contribution weaving into a tapestry of creativity and strategy. Kai looked at his friends, his heart swelling with pride and admiration. They were all so strong, so brave, and they believed in him without hesitation. With vulnerability and strength, he couldn't let them down. "You're right," he said, standing up straighter, as if the very resolve of their aims fortified him. "We need to trust each other. We're not just a team, we're a family, and families stick together through thick and thin, facing the world as one." The Guardians spent the next hour sketching out plans, using sticks to draw detailed diagrams in the dirt. They animatedly discussed their strengths and weaknesses, sharing ideas on how to support each other in the battles to come. With each word exchanged and each idea shared, their bond grew stronger, a formidable connection yielding new energy. They mapped strategies and contingencies, ensuring that every member had a vital role in their unified approach. By the time they were done, the fear that had once gripped them had transformed into a steadfast determination. A sense of unity brought clarity to their mission. They were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, not as individuals with solitary powers, but as a united force, an indomitable family forged through trials and promises, ready to protect one another at all costs. Kai's resolve. As the sun gracefully dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple and casting elongated shadows across the grove, a profound shift stirred within Kai. He had long carried the weight of being a reluctant leader, grappling with self-doubt and questioning whether he could ever meet the lofty expectations imposed upon him. However, in this serene moment, with the gentle rustle of leaves whispering encouragement and the warmth of companionship enveloping him, he glanced around at his friends, his chosen family. Their unwavering support ignited a spark of determination within him. In their presence, Kai felt a surge of confidence and clarity. He understood that this was his moment to rise, to embrace the role he was meant to fulfill, and to guide them all into an uncertain but hopeful future. "Kai?" Mira's gentle voice broke through his thoughts. "Are you okay?" Kai smiled, feeling a new sense of clarity. "Yeah, I am. I've been thinking a lot about what this prophecy means, and I realize now that it's not just about the powers we have. It's about how we use them, how we work together, and I want you all to know that I'm ready to lead us in the fight against Draven." His friends looked at him with expressions of pride and trust. "We're with you, Kai," Zara said, her voice filled with determination. "We'll face whatever comes together." Leo stepped forward, placing his hand on Kai's shoulder. "You've got this, Kai. We all believe in you." Mira joined them, her eyes shining with hope. "And we'll be there to support you every step of the way." Kai took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the prophecy settle onto his shoulders, but it no longer felt overwhelming. Instead, it felt like a mantle he was ready to wear. He reached out, and the others placed their hands on top of his, creating a circle of unity. "We're the guardians of the Enchanted realm," Kai said, his voice strong and clear, "and we're going to protect it together." As they stood there, hands joined, the last rays of the sun bathed them in golden light. It was a moment of peace, a calm before the storm. They knew the road ahead would be difficult, filled with dangers and challenges, but they were ready. With their hearts united and their purpose clear, they would face whatever the future held with courage and strength. As the light faded and night began to fall, the guardians left the grove, their steps sure and their spirits high. They were ready to fulfill their destinies, to protect the enchanted realm, and to stand against the darkness that threatened it. And at the heart of it all, Kai knew that they would succeed, not just because of their powers, but because of the bond they shared, a bond that no darkness could break. Chapter 8. Restoring Harmony. Guardians triumph in epic battle. In this thrilling conclusion, the Guardians face off against Draven in an epic battle to protect the enchanted realm. United by their friendship and the power of the mystic gem, they combine their unique abilities to defeat the dark sorcerer. As Draven is vanquished, the enchanted realm is restored to peace, and the Guardians celebrate their victory. Kai returns to his own world, forever changed by his adventures, while the bond between the Guardians strengthens, setting the stage for future quests together. The chapter highlights the power of teamwork, courage, and the enduring spirit of friendship. The final gathering. The enchanted realm seemed to hold its breath as the Guardians made their way to the sacred site of the mystic gem. The valley where the gem was housed shimmered with a soft, otherworldly glow. The air was thick with anticipation, and even the leaves on the trees seemed to quiver in excitement. This was the place where their journey would reach its climax, where the fate of the enchanted realm would be decided. As they approached the glowing altar, the energy of the mystic gem pulsed around them, filling them with a sense of purpose. The Guardians formed a circle around the altar, each one reflecting on how far they had come. Kai, their leader, looked at his friends with pride. He remembered when he first stumbled upon the portal that brought him to this magical world. Now, standing here with his friends, he knew that they had all grown stronger, both as individuals and as a team. Zara, the tech genius, was the first to speak. "We've faced so much together," she said, her voice steady but tinged with emotion. "I've learned that it's not just about being smart or strong, it's about believing in yourself and trusting your friends." Leo, the brave warrior, nodded. "I've always tried to be strong, but I've realized that true strength comes from working together. We're only as strong as the bonds we share." Mira, the gentle healer, smiled softly. "And I've learned that healing isn't just about mending wounds. It's about nurturing hope and courage in those around you." Kai stepped forward, his hand hovering above the mystic gem. The energy radiating from the gem felt warm and welcoming, like an old friend. He knew that this was the moment where all their training, all their battles, and all their struggles would converge. Taking a deep breath, he grasped the gem, feeling its power surge through him. The wind around them picked up, swirling gently as if the elements themselves were ready to fight alongside them. "Let's do this, together," Kai said, his voice strong and resolute. The Guardians joined hands, forming a circle around Kai. Their powers merged, creating a radiant aura that surrounded them, preparing them for the battle that lay ahead. The battle begins. As the Guardians stood united, the once peaceful valley transformed into a scene of chaos, darkened by an ominous shadow as the earth trembled beneath their feet. A chilling, wicked wind surged through the clearing, heralding the evil arrival of Draven. The dark sorcerer emerged from a swirling abyss of shadows, his crimson eyes pulsating with cruelty. "Ah, the little Guardians have come to challenge me," Draven sneered, his voice resonating with dark, twisted power. "Foolish children, do you really believe you can defeat me?" Leo stepped forward, his sword drawn and shining brightly in the dim light. "We're not afraid of you, Draven," he declared, his voice brimming with courage. "We've trained for this moment, and we're ready to protect the Enchanted Realm." Draven unleashed a sinister laugh, raising his hands and summoning a horde of nightmarish minions from the depths of his dark magic. The creatures twisted and contorted, their dreadful forms slithering closer to the Guardians. Without a moment's hesitation, Leo charged into battle, his sword slicing through the air with fierce precision. He fought valiantly, taking down the shadow minions one by one, but for every one he defeated, 2 more sprang forth to take its place. Sweat trickled down Leo's brow as he gave his all, fueled by the knowledge that his friends depended on him. Meanwhile, Zara skillfully navigated the chaos around her, grappling with Draven's dark sorcery. With a quick flick of her wrist, she accessed her high-tech gear, analyzing the swirling energy of his spells. In a flash, she deployed a series of holographic decoys, dazzling and confusing Draven's magic, granting her friends invaluable moments to regroup. "Leo, over here!" Mira called, sprinting to his side. Her hands radiated a soft green glow as she weaved healing spells, mending Leo's wounds and revitalizing his strength. "You're doing amazing!" she encouraged, her eyes sparkling with hope. "Keep pushing forward. We're all in this together." Kai observed his friends battling valiantly, and with determination surging within him, he knew it was time to unleash the full force of his elemental powers. Channeling his energy, he summoned the might of the winds and the waters from the Enchanted Realm. A powerful gust broke through the clearing, sweeping back the shadow minions and forming a protective barrier around his friends. Towering waves surged from the ground, crashing down upon Draven's minions and washing them away like sandcastles before the tide. "You cannot win, Draven," Kai roared, his voice soaring with the winds. "We are the Guardians, and we fight for the Enchanted Realm." The battle raged on. The battle raged fiercely, and neither side seemed willing to give up ground. Draven, a master of dark magic, fought relentlessly against the Guardians, who harnessed their own powers to protect the valley. The landscape became a canvas of chaos. Blurs of light and shadow danced across the hills, creating a stunning yet terrifying display as magic collided. Each clash of energy lit up the surroundings, reflecting the struggle that filled the air. Despite this spectacular chaos, the Guardians were aware that they needed more than just determination to defeat Draven. They needed a strategy, the call for unity. As the fight continued, Kai, one of the Guardians, took the initiative to rally his friends. He saw the power of unity was their strongest weapon. "We need to combine our powers," he urged with urgency. His voice carried a strong conviction. The importance of collaboration weighed heavy on his shoulders, and it was clear he wasn't just speaking out of desperation. He believed in the strength they could find together. Zara, another Guardian and a fierce fighter in her own right, nodded in agreement. Her mind raced with possibilities as she formulated a plan quickly. "If we can immobilize Draven, even for a moment, we can hit him with everything we've got." Her focus was sharp and her determination was strong, harnessing the elements. Kai, with a sense of responsibility, took the lead in their unified attack. He began to channel the energy of the mystic gem, an object of great power. As he did this, the wind and water around him started to swirl and dance. It was as if nature itself responded to his call, creating a vortex of elemental energy. This visible manifestation of power inspired his friends, showing them that their hope was not lost. Zara, not one to stand idle, quickly activated her tech constructs. These were advanced tools she had created, designed to assist the Guardians in battle. She sent out energy webs, aiming to ensnare Draven and bind his movements, limiting his deadly magic. Empowering each other. "Now, Mira!" Kai shouted, calling for their companion, who held the gift of healing. Instead of directing her energy towards mending their wounds, Mira made a different choice. She stepped forward, her hands glowing with healing energy that could uplift her friends. With a powerful will, she infused this energy into Kai and Zara, strengthening their resolve and boosting their powers. Her act of selflessness not only fortified them physically, but also mentally. It made the Guardians feel empowered, reminding them of their purpose and the strength they could draw from one another. The moment of truth. With Draven temporarily immobilized by Zara's energy webs, the Guardians knew they had, at last, found their moment. They seized this opportunity, gathering all their energy and focusing on a single devastating attack. Kai was the one who directed their elemental forces. He called upon the tremendous whirlwind of wind and water he had created, determined to turn it into a force powerful enough to launch against Draven. Leo, another Guardian known for his warrior spirit, added his strength into the mix. He believed in the power of camaraderie and knew that this was their collective strength at work. The energy from Zara's tech constructs amplified their attack tenfold, creating a potent force that was building to an unstoppable crescendo, unleashing the combined force. "Now!" Kai shouted, and in that heartbeat they unleashed their combined blast. It was more than just an attack. It was the culmination of their faith in each other and their combined efforts fighting for a cause greater than themselves. The force was immense, shaking the very ground they stood on. A powerful wave of energy surged forward, crashing toward Draven like a storm. The darkness that he commanded began to falter, consumed by the brightness of their collaboration. The final clash. For a brief moment, the valley was filled with a blinding light. The forces of good and evil clashed in an epic final blow. It was a vision that would remain etched in their memories. Bright rays against the dark backdrop, swirling with raw emotion and energy. However, as the light began to fade, the Guardians stood there breathless. They watched in amazement as Draven's dark form started to dissolve, breaking apart into wisps of shadow. His voice rose above the chaos, echoing through the valley one last time, filled with disbelief and anger. "This isn't over," he rasped before he vanished into the void, disappearing from their sight. The victory felt surreal, and as they caught their breath, they were left with a sense of accomplishment, knowing that they had faced darkness together. A new dawn. As the last remnants of Draven's dark magic dissipated, the valley began to brighten once more. The air was filled with a sense of peace and renewal, as if the very essence of the enchanted realm was celebrating their victory. The Guardians stood together, their faces lit with a mixture of relief and joy. "We did it," Zara whispered, her eyes shining with tears of happiness. "We actually did it." Leo sheathed his sword, a grin spreading across his face. "I knew we could," he said, clapping Kai on the back. "We make a pretty great team." Mira stepped forward, her usual calm demeanor replaced by a radiant smile. "We couldn't have done it without each other," she said. "Our friendship and trust in one another are what made us strong." Kai looked at his friends, feeling a deep sense of pride and gratitude. He knew that their journey had changed them all in ways they couldn't have imagined. They were no longer just kids. They were the guardians of the mystic dragons, protectors of the enchanted realm. As they stood at the ancient altar where the mystic gem once shone brightly, Kai knew that his time in the enchanted realm was coming to an end. The portal that had brought him here was waiting to take him back to his own world. But he wasn't sad. He knew that this wasn't goodbye. It was just the beginning of something even greater. "Thank you, everyone," Kai said, his voice filled with emotion. "I'll never forget what we've done here, and I'll always be with you in spirit." The Guardians gathered around Kai, each placing a hand on his shoulder in a gesture of solidarity. They had faced incredible challenges together, and now, as they stood on the brink of a new dawn, they knew that their bond was unbreakable. "Until we meet again," Zara said, her voice strong and clear. "Take care, Kai," Mira added softly. Leo gave Kai a thumbs up. "We'll be ready for the next adventure." With one last smile, Kai stepped back through the portal. The world around him shimmered and shifted, and soon he found himself back in the familiar surroundings of his own world. But everything felt different now. He was different. He carried with him the lessons he had learned, the friendships he had forged, and the knowledge that he had played a part in saving an entire realm. As he looked up at the sky, Kai felt a sense of peace and fulfillment. He knew that the enchanted realm was safe and that his friends were out there, watching over it. And deep down, he knew that someday he would return. Because once a guardian, always a guardian. Conclusion. The guardians of the mystic dragons emerged victorious, pushing back the shadows and bringing peace back to the enchanted realm. Yet this victory was just the beginning of their extraordinary journey. As they stood together, ready to face fresh challenges and thrilling quests, their friendship became an unbreakable bond. With the warmth of their courage shining brightly, there was no obstacle too great, no adventure too daunting. The enchanted realm, filled with magic and wonder, was their beloved home, and they vowed to keep it safe. Each day promised new tales, waiting to be told, a tapestry of excitement woven by their heartfelt endeavours. The whispers of their upcoming escapades call out to everyone, inviting you to join in the anticipation of what lies ahead. Together, they are not just guardians, they are the heartbeats of a world brimming with possibilities, united in the spirit of adventure.